Good morning, everyone, and welcome back. We are starting our day off today with Bitcoin on a daily time frame. And as we can see from yesterday, we did have buyers step up, and we are right now making a little bit of a retracement to the top side. I would keep these levels in mind. The first area of resistance is 40,500, which is where the 21 EMA is. And if we do break that to the top side, then we have the 55 EMA and the top of this channel at 41,500. So those are two levels of resistance. And then breaking even above those, if we break out of the channel, the 100 EMA is at 42,500. So that's literally $1,000 each level, three levels ahead of us. So we have a long way to the upside before we can start saying, hey, the movement to the higher levels is on its path. Well, we still have the 200 at 44,300 as resistance. And then when we can break above this and closing, then we can look for these higher levels, which is a 0.5 at 48,800. These moves, I don't know how long it'll take to happen, but as of right now, we are still in the middle of our downward retracement and looking for the low so we can start making our path to the upside. And as of right now, we do have the volume. Yesterday was great. We needed to follow up today. If we start seeing weakness around the 21 EMA, we know that we can look for some downside support at 39,300. And then under 39,000, we have 38,400, which has been acting as a little level of support for the last few days. Losing this level, that's when we have these other measured moves come into play, which is all the way to 37 and then 33 and then 29 and a half, basically. Uh, I can just say right now that we are about to open the market up in an hour and it looks bullish. So maybe at market open, we get into this 21, we get into the 55, we come find a little bit of a retracement back to this 39,800 area. And then we can go for some upward levels, maybe the 42,500 before we find some support again and then try again. So these are the paths that it could go to the upside today. And if we go to the downside, hopefully find some support on the bottom of the channel. Don't break the channel. Breaking the channel, then we have the warning flags when we come into this lower consolidation. Hoping we don't make a lower low and higher lows, breaking this low and coming into this danger consolidation zone where we have the potential of breaking this level of support to make this move to the downside and then trying to find support here to the upside again. We don't want to have the fear of breaking this, but the market maker can obviously see that there's a lot of liquidity at this level. And then it's in his benefit to actually break this level quickly just to test these lows and then to bring it right back up fast. So anyone who panic shorts in this area here will get liquidated or stopped out on the way up. And then people are just adding shorts right now in panic. So that's one way this can play out. So just keep that in mind. We don't know what's going to happen, but I just want to have the back of my mind ready for a quick move to the downside if they're going to sweep the downside one more time for liquidity before they bring it actually to the upside. Going to the 4 hour on the Bitcoin chart, we can see we are above the 21, but like I said, we might be coming into some resistance at market open. We need this 4 hour candle to continue to the upside. The volume is slowing down, which is my only concern. We need this volume to start going up. And then if we can keep this going up, that's great. But losing the 21 now, I think we can be in for a large self volume candle where it's going to quickly come to this downside level to test this low. And if we can't hold this level and we start losing this level, then since we've tested this already one time, two time, and this would be the third time we'd be testing this level, it's possible for it to break through and we can have this little measured move come into this consolidation area. And then we have to see, are we going to hold this or not? Losing this level with 4-hour candles opening and closing under it, we can look for this area to get filled. And that's when we can find out, hey, are we going to break this bottom or are we going to find support here and go up? So that's if we go to the downside. Going to the upside, we have these levels of support, right, that we need to break to the top side resistance. Sorry, not support, resistance, actually, to the top side. This 55, which you're testing right now in the 4-hour, if we could just close above this, basically $39,859 area in the next 4 hours, or just go sideways here, then we have a good chance of testing the high at 40,500. And then if we can take that quickly, we can go to 41,200, the top of the channel, the 200, and we have a previous high. Getting above this previous high with opens and closes to the 4-hour, we can look for even higher levels at 44,200 and that 48,000 that we had marked above. So it's all in the court of the bulls. We need this volume not to slow down. This buy volume, if it slows down, a sell candle could come and then it can ruin the path to the upside. And we're going to have to keep our eye on the downward targets to see where the support is before it wants to try again to the upside. So no need to panic. I'm laying out both plans so we can be ready for both ways. Assess your risk properly. Anyone who's long is probably going to have a stop loss right here. And that's why I said the market maker might want to make a run for liquidity in this level. And then if you're not buying in yet and you're waiting for these levels, if we come here, just wait to see if the 4-hour candles can hold the level of support over here on the Bollinger, 37 and 9. And if it can, then you could get into a long and have a stop loss right under this level. And it's so tight that the loss will be very minimal if you're entering here and your stop loss is like right around here, as opposed to entering now with the stop loss all the way down here. You're going to potentially lose this much equity. That's not something you want to do. All right, so that is Bitcoin. I'm going to go to Ethereum now on a daily. Ethereum on a daily is actually a little bit healthier than Bitcoin. We are testing into the 382 and it looks like we're trying to hold this level. This $2,927 level is very important. We need to stay above it with open and close. Any selling action under this with sustained time with open and closes under this, we have a high likelihood to test the low over here, which is 2,484. And just as like in Bitcoin, Ethereum has the same setup where there is an extreme amount of money on this line. And there's a lot of stop loss probably right under it. So the market maker, if he wants to collect this, he needs to bring this price down just under this and then pop it right back up within that 4-hour candle just to take all this liquidity and stop loss. And then he can make this go sideways and then take it back up to the top side. And the upside movement will be quick because now all these shorts are closed. They're closing their positions, causing the market to go back up as it is. When you close your short, your market buying. Okay, so just keep all that in mind. Aside from that, if we go to the upside, we can see the 21 is losing the 55 EMA. So that's a sign of weakness right there on a daily scale. So even if we close up to the 21 EMA on a daily, our next day is going to be, are we going to take the 21 EMA or not? If we don't take over the 21 EMA, then the path to the downside is going to have the least resistance. And then we're going to see some consolidation down here, like I'm already pointing out. And Friday's right around the corner. The month's end is right around the corner. So some sideways consolidation or some downward consolidation is not to be unexpected. Even if it occurs, don't be worried. Just keep that in your back of your mind for your game plan for dollar cost averaging your position into a larger one as it's going down. Aside from that, I'm going to go to the 4-hour. Oh, I'm back one more time on the daily. If we do close at the 382, the 2927, and we close the day of here, the next day we have the opportunity to test the 21. And if we do make it above the 21, 3300 is the upward resistance. Once we start making open and closes above here, we can look for the golden pocket retracement. But this is a huge level of resistance where a lot of people will let price get into here, and then they will start shorting, and they'll bring it down. consolidate it down, and then we can try back up a whole nother time. So just keep that in mind. Price doesn't just need to go up. It can go up just so it can go back down. So the shorts can get reloaded as long as we don't make another high. If we go all the way up here, then I can understand why it's not a good idea for these shorters to short. But coming into this lower high, I can assure you people will be shorting that due to the fact that it's 0.5 and it's a lower high, kind of making a little head and shoulder situation going on as well. So it makes it reasonable for that move to happen for us to finally break this level to the downside into those lower targets, which we already have marked out by this yellow orange line going all the way to 1700. So that's when this level finally will get tested for the last time and broken, because this is going to be the fourth test. So if it comes into this area one more time, I'm assuming it's going to break a little bit, and then it can try to come back to the top side. Maybe we go as low as 2000 and not all the way to 17. But this is the measured move, basically, to make sure that all these positions get closed out. Aside from that, guys, I'm gonna go to the 4 hour and let's see what I was supposed to in the first place. Going to the 4 hour time frame, we can see that we're above the 21 EMA, but we are pushing off the 55, and this level of resistance, which I've been pointing out, is huge. We need to close our 4 hour candle above this $29.30 area. If we do lose this and we test back into the 21, we have support at 29, but losing 2900, if we lose 2900, then we have all this area that it can go sideways and down until it wants to try back up again. So all this area would be an area where you can dollar cost average into a long if you want a long. And if you are already in a position, you should be considering taking some profit just in case if this goes back down, you could reback add over here. And if it actually goes over here and then starts losing this low, then I would stop out of the entire position due to the fact that it's going to test even lower. And you can test the middle of this channel, lose that, and then go to those lower targets we already discussed. So last time we looked at a measured move like this, we had it over here. It did break down, but it didn't complete the measured move. See, it stopped over here. The measured move was to all the way here. So the same situation cannot happen over here. It doesn't need to make the entire measured move, but it's setting up to take some liquidity of these lows over here. And if it comes to these lows, how low it goes under that level, we won't know. But you can draw a fib to, see what the pocket is like. But aside from that, this is all stuff you should be ready for if it comes to the downside. I'm not saying it's going to the downside, but if we lose this level of support, we start closing 4 hour candles underneath it, this is going to be the path to least resistance. And if we close above this and we can test into the 55 and finally take that over, then we can retest these highs over here. And we can look at the 100 EMA at 3000, and then we can hope for 3037 for the 200. And taking over this, we can look for the path to the new last highs, and then we can look to consolidate even higher. So these are the levels. These are the things that need to occur for these levels for me to take action on any set trade that I'd be taking. Aside from that, guys, please leave your question or comments in the section below. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and press the bell button for notifications for real-time updates as they come out. And aside from that, if there's any other assets you would like me to cover, please leave that in the section and I will get back to you ASAP. Thank you so much for your time. Have a great day. Be safe trading.